Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Larry again. Today I'm doing a hard apple cider from a kit. Now this kit is by Brewer's Best. It's called Cider House Select. It's their apple cider brand. And since I've never done cider before, my first time, I've been brewing beer for years. I started winemaking several years ago. I've done meads. Now I've never done ciders and I've always wanted to try it. So I happened to stumble across this kit at my local homebrew shop and I am going to give it a shot. I'm not a big fan of kits, I'll tell you that. From my experience over the years, whether it be a beer kit or a wine kit, you don't get the same quality result that you would get if you just put the sweat equity into it and make it from scratch and have full control over the process, and the result is usually a much higher quality drink. So, but anyway, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to put this thing through its paces and I'll give you my opinion of it. So for starters, if you buy this kit here, you'll see on the box or the back of the bag it says you need to have 2 pounds of corn sugar or dextrose, which is the same thing. So my homebrew shop also had here are 2 pounds, 1 pound bags times 2 of corn sugar. So you'll be able to print out these instructions from their website, or there's instructions inside the bag as well. But just keep in mind, you'll need this bag, 2 pounds of corn sugar, and probably about 6 gallons of treated water. So here's my 6.5 gallon carboy, just with my sanitizer in there. I did a video on sanitation for home brewing. You can actually check that out for details as to what sanitizers you may have on hand or may want to buy. But I'm using Star San for this. So now I'm going to drain this out of here and let this drip dry. So let's open this kit and see what's inside. There we go. Alright, let's take a look. Oh, there's some juice. Yeah, there's the juice, and there's a side pouch here. Let's see, let's take the stuff out of here and I'll lay them on the table for you all to see. Now it looks like here, in addition to the juice that's in the package, there's some cider yeast right there. It comes with some sweetener, some apple cider flavoring, not sure what that is, and instructions. So that's what comes in the packet in a little side pouch in the front. So when you cut the top off this thing, it's going to expose the juice as well as a side pocket with everything stuffed in the side. So next up here is to get a gallon of clean water. In my case, I have Lake Michigan water, which is chlorinated, so I had to use a water filter to dechlorinate it. But it's 1 gallon of clean dechlorinated water, and we'll get it to a boil and then add the 2 pounds of corn sugar. So I'll go ahead and just dump that in. It's 1 pound. Second pound. There we go. So stir it to dissolve it. Now I got to add that to my carboy now. So I put my sanitized funnel in already to help me funnel this in. Okay. Next up is to add the actual syrup or the cider concentrate. So I'm going to pour that in now. Okay. Then it says to rinse the inside of the pouch with some clean water to get the remaining syrup and pour that in too. So I'll do that now too. Okay, I've poured some water in this thing, swirl it around to get the leftover syrup that's still stuck to the walls, all mixed in there, and it's going to pour that in too. There we go. And then you're going to add some more clean water, dechlorinated water, up to the 6 gallon mark on the carboy. So let's do that. Alright, I'm guessing that 6 gallons is right about there. So that's a lot of cider. Now one thing I want to point out that's not in the instructions, you can see there's a darker color down here and it's lighter as you go up. Well, all that syrup and stuff is all still kind of mingling down at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is shake up this this carboy and get a nice good even mix together so it's all homogeneous in there. There we go, that's a lot better. So I definitely would recommend doing that. Now the next step is to wait until the temperature of the mix is below in a certain range, which I think is between 68 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit. This is right about 74 or 76, so it's well within range, and I'm ready to add my yeast. So the next step now is to add the yeast. Now, I was reading this package. It's not just yeast, it's yeast and yeast nutrient, which is a good thing. I was about to add my own yeast nutrient from my home brewing days in here to give a yeast an extra kick, but it comes with it, so that's really nice. So let's go ahead and add that in there. And also, it says it's optional is to add the sweetener. Now, you probably may not be able to read this, but you add this whole package in there to make it a sweet cider, about half the packet to make it a medium sweet cider, and do not add any to make a dry cider. I made my choice. Dry it is. And next step there is to put on your airlock. So what I have here is my cardboard cap with my top cap removed. I'm going to work in one of these S-shaped airlocks in here, filled to the max line with a star sand solution. And there we go. So let's go find a place for this thing to ferment. And there it is, sitting next to my fireplace in my living room, next to another fermenting batch of beer here actually. And they're going to keep you company for the next 7 to 10 days. It's been almost 2 weeks, probably about 13 days actually, and I am ready to keg it. So there's the color. That's how it looks when it's done, I guess. So it's been about 3.5 weeks. The first 2 weeks were the fermentation, about a week and a half worth of carbonation and refrigeration. So let's give this cider a taste. Well, here we go. Let's give it a taste. First, the smell. Yeah, it's, you know, the aroma. It's not really much of aroma there at all. Let's give it a taste. We'll try it again. Well, it's a little thin-bodied. Tastes a little bit watered down. For like the flavor, let me try that again. For the flavor, it's a little weak because it's a little watered down, but what I do taste there is pretty good. It's got a nice tart finish to it. It's a dry cider, so it's nice, a nice dry finish. So it's got that going for it. But overall, it's an okay cider. It's a kit cider, just like I said at the beginning of the home brewing video here, or the cider brewing video. I'm not a big fan of kits, whether it be wine kits, beer kits, and now cider kits. They all pretty much have the same flaws. Yeah, it's convenient. Yeah, it gets you into the hobby. So it's got that going for it. If it's your first time doing it, I'd say go ahead and give it a shot. But personally, for my palate, I would rather have just gone to the store and bought some 6-packs of some high quality cider and called it a day and skip this whole this kit step here. I have 5.5 gallons of it here. I'm going to finish it up. I'm still going to drink it. It's not that bad. It's an okay cider, but again, my discerning palate I like better. So I think in a future video, I'm going to go ahead and try to do an actual cider from scratch and see how that turns out. But as for a kit cider, if it's your first time wanting to try it, give it a try, see for yourself. It's not that bad, but it's also not that great. So just keep that in mind. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some new videos coming up. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out other videos on my YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe.